What about in the future? She's wondering if she's going to be channeling more and if in English so people can understand her.
We will be transmitting through this one through many languages.
Mm-hmm.
She will be traveling the world, Alba, and you will be at her side on many occasions to help with the transmissions. For
Mm-hmm.
this one has the ability to speak in any earth language that we dictate. And she will reach those who need to be reached. Time is of the essence. We wish this work for you and this one to accelerate. These transmissions need to go global. Yes, there will be a book, Alba, but these broadcasts need to be broadcast as soon as possible. The time is quickening. She has now embraced this mission. Alba, we would like you to climb on board this mission. You are an imperative link to this very important chain. Will you accept this mission that we request of you this day?
I accept this mission now.
Thank you, Alba.
So, Jill, we're here today to talk about our book.
We are.
Yeah.
How exciting is this?
It's so exciting. It feels like we've birthed something. And I know that in the book, it talks about the fact that we are like the midwives birthing this.
Yeah, it has. It is a birth, isn't it? Every time you do something creative,
Yes,
that's what you're really doing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to tell everybody how this began, how this discourse began.
So how far back do you want me to go?
Well, let's start with, I think we don't need to go that far. When did you hear the message that it was 12 sessions?
Okay.
Let's start with that.
So that's when you phoned me and you said to me, can you chat, just out of the blue? And I said, no, I can't. I'm at the supermarket. I'll phone you back in 10 minutes. And as I got in my car and started driving home, it was how it works with me is I see it like a movie or a video. And with the images, I hear the messages, like the voice, as you can, that's really what it is. And it just showed me and told me that you're going to be hypnotizing me 12 times. And as they said 12 times, I thought, oh, that's a lot. Like, this is crazy. And then they said that they will give me the questions that they want you to ask. And when I answer the questions under your facilitation, then they will channel the answers through me. And they said that they want it to be a book and they want it to be called The Discourse. And they said it'll be similar to a master's degree in spiritual development for humanity. And they said that it's time basically for all those people who feel something, know something, to step out of the spiritual closet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
we've
say,
all
and be brave enough.
And be brave. And we've all had to step out of that spiritual closet, and we wouldn't be where we are now without our guides pushing us. So this was, it was pretty interesting how it all turned out because Jill, just like either the night before we'd have a session or even right before the session, you would give me a list of questions. The first two, they were really long lists, and I don't think we even got to half of them.
No, we didn't.
But then as the sessions progressed, they got shorter and shorter and shorter. And so it was interesting how it happened. The sessions were just as long, but the topics were just so interesting.
And every single time, the day or the night before a session, I would be petrified because I would think, there's nothing else to talk about.
Yes.
what else can you possibly say?
Yes.
And what if this is my imagination and they don't give me anything? And more like, once I was hypnotized, what if nothing comes through?
Mm-hmm.
I was petrified.
And the first two sessions were interesting because they were not on YouTube. The whole idea was to actually just do the book and not put them out to the public.
We didn't even think it was going to go on YouTube. I mean,
Nope.
that was not even in our minds. But that
Exactly.
third session, the awakening, session 403, that's when they said, we want this to go out now.
Exactly. So it was really interesting how it all fell together and how beautiful it was. The information coming through was just amazing. Just
But I've
amazing.
got to tell you something, okay? So they said to me that I said, who's going to publish the book? And they said, you'll see the stones. When you see the stones, you'll know who the publisher is. And so I got on the internet, scoured everything looking for stones as like rocks or something as an emblem for a publisher, calling it the rocks, calling it the stones, publishing, nothing. And this is how spirit works. This is what makes me so intrigued and so grateful that as you know, I was going to do the second hypnosis learning with Antonio.
Yes.
And suddenly they came through. I fell down the stairs. I mean, everything was happening all at the same time. And they said to me, why are you putting the stones in your path when it's always been a clear road for you? There'll be a little bump every now and then, but we've cleared the path and it's well lit. And I'm thinking, what on earth are they talking about? And the very next email that I got in my inbox was from Michelle Carpenter, who said, look, I don't know if you're interested, but there's a doctor down the road from you that's actually just written a spiritual book. And he said that his the people that helped him to publish, who actually did the layout, are so kind and gentle and fabulous. And so I got hold of them and everything went so smoothly. And when I had a chat to my guides again, they said to me, didn't we say to you, when you see the stones? But I actually had never thought that the stones would be literally things I was putting in my own pathway. And then suddenly everything just arrived.
It's
So
amazing.
I don't
It's
know
amazing.
how they work.
Yeah. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about was the cover, the back cover and the front cover of the book, because it took us a long time to really hone in on that. Both you and I, Jill, wanted a certain look because that was in one of the sessions, is what you actually saw. So did you want to tell everybody a little bit about the covers, about what?
Yeah, so that actually was Alba had a really strong vision of when I went to meet God, sitting at the left-hand side of God and with the light army in front of us and walking down that lit pathway like a model's catwalk with all these celestial cherubims, angelic beings guarding and like a guard of honor going in to the Holy of Holies. And you said, wow, imagine if we could depict that avenue and all that light. But to try and get the artist to understand that was very, very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
However, thanks to Antonio, he put me in touch with the man that did his cover, and he came up with that figure, and we said, let's get it floating above the earth as part of ascension. And then you said, let's have those 12 disciples, by honoring those disciples, holding the earth and holding us and hugging us all in place, which was the back cover. So I got a lady in New Zealand called Kim Beaton who did the whole back cover. So it was a collaboration of you and I, two artists, and Antonio, and those chaps upstairs.
That's right. And we love the artwork. We think it's beautiful. I think it just depicts exactly what we're feeling about this discourse. Those beings that have assisted us during this whole discourse and have given us more than their 2 cents. A lot of information. A lot of
Wow,
information.
it's just been such a wild ride, Alba, hasn't it?
It has. And the really beautiful thing about this is that this is a manual. This is like a manual to how to get ready for this ascension. I mean, we're in it right now, but there's a lot of things that we need to do. We need to prepare ourselves. And the first 2 chapters are really about our bodies and the photons and the structure of our of everything that's coming towards us. And I'm feeling it. Jill, you're feeling it. Our bodies are not the same, and they talk about this. And I know a lot of people have been dealing with same issues, body pains, aches, things that they don't know what's going on with them. And this talks about it in there. And then all of the things that we need to do.
I also think when you look at the greater word, ascension, what actually does ascension mean? And it really means to lift yourself or rise above any situation.
Yes.
So it's really, to me, it's like having a meeting with your higher self, the highest fabulousness of who you are.
Yeah.
And so it's a manual for living.
Yep.
For best living, to cut out all the drama. So when you read this book, and I've got to tell you, Alba, although they gave me the questions, they gave me the answers, I typed the book up and proofread it. When it actually arrived and I had to read it in its printed version, I actually started seeing even more layers and thinking, how on earth did I miss that? All those times.
Yes.
So I think what's going to happen with this book is people are going to read it, put it down, and then in a few months or a year's time, they'll pick it up and they'll see a totally different meaning because it meets them where they are.
Yes. Yeah. And the beauty of having these sessions is that it's real life. This is not, I was going through a lot of things myself and was questioning things. And this is in the book, how, I was feeling, that I had to move and things like that. And why I was packing and why both of us were moving. And, it was really amazing. So, this is real life stuff. This is not just the guides telling you things that are spiritual. This is about your life.
Or beyond your reach.
Yes, that's right. That's right. So it's not an airy fairy book. It's like really heavy duty. This is what it's like to live. This is how you should be living.
Well, it literally, they are steps to ascension.
Yep. Yeah.
Like take the first step, think about it, mull about it. And that's why they called it the discourse, because it is a conversation. And it's not only a conversation that you can have with friends and family and colleagues or whatever, but it's actually an internal conversation. Mm-hmm. And that's where they say that's where the work begins. Let the discourse begin. So, and it's all about teaching you about really looking within, not always blaming the exterior, because when you keep on blaming and blaming, you never change the internal. And right. Once you turn the switch, so it's a key for a lock to unlock you to discover who or what you really are.
That's right. That's right. So this would be a great book for you to give as gifts to other people who are wondering what this is all about, people who are even questioning what hypnosis is all about, because these are hypnosis sessions in which I put Jill into a trance, and she was able to channel all of these helpers that she has, all of these beautiful guides, and all of those that were part of our team in getting this book out. So it was a beautiful, beautiful experience. And I know that, when you have a book physically, even in your home, there is energy from the book. And I think this is just a good one to give as gifts, for those people who are searching. Because right now, it's almost like as if many of us have been planted on the earth, and some of us are still in darkness, and some of the seeds are beginning to pop out during this awakening. And this is a good book to wake a lot of people up.
Well, Alba, in the first and second chapters, those two chapters tell you why you're here.
Mm-hmm.
They tell you really what the purpose is all about, and where you come from. They talk about that star-seeded lineage.
Mm-hmm.
And they told me that they made me speak in a certain manner. And they made it very simple. They called it layman's terms, so that everybody could understand it. So there wasn't anything really to decipher. It wasn't hieroglyphic talk. I mean, you could say the cat sat on the acetabulum of the hyperbolium, with the ventriloquist, instead of saying the cat sat on the mat. So,
except for mini minors, which we don't have in the U.S.
Oh, you don't? Why don't you have mini minors? A little car.
Yeah, we have little cars, but they're not called mini minors.
It's like Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean from the UK? That's in the little mini minor. You don't have them.
Well, it's not by that name. So, so if anybody is listening to this, there's some words which are not used in different countries, and that's the only difference.
Oh dear. Well, they can look it up.
That's right. That's right.
But Alba, also what I'd like to say is that the chapter 1 and 2, obviously it's not on YouTube.
It's not on YouTube. It's not published. Right.
But when people read the book,
mm-hmm.
what is so fabulous now is that they can go to your YouTube channel, and then they can look at each chapter.
Right.
And then they can press that chapter, and then they will get the actual energy, the vibration
mm-hmm.
through my voice and through your voice coming through. And they said that is actually part of the activation,
mm-hmm.
specifically chapter 3, which will then, when I think about it now, as I'm thinking right this second, how clever of them, because they said channel 3 will unlock and activate. Mm-hmm. So there they went, let's activate and unlock on channel 3, the first one that we release, which means they were then open to receive all the other chapters.
Yeah, it was ingenious. It was just ingenious. And we do have the book coming out on just paperback and Kindle through Amazon.com. So if anybody wants to order it there, they can go to my website also, albaweinman.com, and there is a link there for the Discourse book, which gives you the front and back cover. And we're going to post I'm going to post a little video just to explain this also. So if anybody wants to look at it there, they can send people to that page too if they want information.
Now, some people can't find it on Amazon. They've asked me about that. Why can't they find it? Yes. And I've actually discovered that if they type in your name in the search engine, and then I looked this morning and put Jill Cole, and they'd also brought it up. So that might be easier for them to actually find it.
So if you're looking for the book, just type in Alba Weinman, because there are many Coles there too, and there's many books called Discourse in their title. So just look for my name, and you'll be able to pull it up and order your own copy.
Yoo-hoo!
So I want to thank everybody for joining in on this little chat. And, when you read the book, please do us a favor and write a review on Amazon.com, because, before somebody buys a book, they usually like to read the reviews to see if it's worth reading. And I know that you all are so enthusiastic about it, just like we are. Write your comments in there and tell people what this book is all about so that we can keep this rolling throughout the entire world. We'd love to see this book being read by everybody, because everybody is on the same path, where we all need to know this. So
To lift them. Yeah.
to lift them up. Yeah. Do you have anything to say, Jill, in closing?
I actually would like to thank you, because if there's one thing that I've learned this year, is that nobody does it alone.
Mm-hmm.
It actually takes a team
Yes.
to get things done.
Mm-hmm.
You and your guides, me and my guides, the listeners, my son who put my YouTube channel together and my website. I mean, if he hadn't come back, and then my guide said they actually made him give up his job in Australia to actually come here specifically to get my show on the road. I'm thinking, what? He wouldn't have been impressed to hear that at all. But, we are all in this together.
Yes.
We need now to lift Gaia into the place in this beautiful universe behind you that you are showing us.
Mm-hmm.
And as she lifts, we lift. So it's actually time for our ascension. And that's the only reason why we're asking everybody to share and review.
Yeah.
Because we are now ready for ascension.
Yep. And we're all a big team, all of us. We all came here during this time to do this work. A lot of us knew each other as a soul group, and so let's all do this. Let's share this information. Get in the hands of people who need to know all about this. So thank you, Jill. It's been a pleasure doing these sessions with you. It's been a pleasure learning so much, and I look forward to future sessions with you to see how the discourse continues.
Thank you, Alba.
Okay. Much love to all of you. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
Cheers.